Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the only podcast in India where we bring a new founder on every episode who will talk about their journey and their story of building a startup. And today we have with us Ashutosh Prakash Singh, who is the co founder and CEO at Revrag AI, which is a platform to build AI agents for banking, finance, and insurance sector. Hi, Ashutosh. Welcome to ELI.
Hey, thanks, Priya. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Uh, to start with, Ashutosh, would request you to introduce yourself to our audience. Tell us a bit about your background, about your journey prior to entrepreneurship. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Where did you study? And finally, which all places did you work before turning an entrepreneur?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. So, I, I'm from Lucknow.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, and basically my schooling is from Lucknow. I was there in Lucknow till 12th.
mm-hmm,
My school was Lucknow Public School.
okay.
If people know, in Lucknow, it is near Sara State, Saliganj
Mm-hmm,
area, right?
mm-hmm,
And then post that, basically, uh, like like any other guy, went to a college for BTech, right? Was
mm-hmm,
not that studious at that moment,
mm-hmm,
so never wanted to be a guy who basically does BTech. I wanted to be a musician of sort. I had
mm-hmm.
my bands and other stuff, so wanted to be a musician. Applied for DU and other areas,
Okay.
but my father wanted me to be an engineer, so
Mm-hmm,
I started basically uh, studied at Galgotia's university of sort. So it was at that time it was college, right? Galgotia GCET was the college, right?
mm-hmm,
So did engineering from there, and post that started working uh, at a startup where I started as a associate product manager.
mm-hmm,
So uh, it was a new journey for me overall, because I never have had thought that I will be working in a IT company or a IT startup, because I never thought of doing that bit, right? I was
mm-hmm,
much more very inclined towards music, used to play, used to compose, used to do all those things, but luckily, it happened, and uh, uh, I started as associate product manager in a net tech company, then became a product manager, built the product from scratch.
mm-hmm,
During that time, realized, okay, I can also basically do something of my own, right? And
mm-hmm,
then started one of my company, which was basically nothing but a very traditional stuff, where we used to provide or manage calendars of restaurant chains, used to provide musicians to these clubs and pubs, right?
mm-hmm.
Used to manage who will come on Wednesday, who will be there on Saturday, and so a lot of operations and a lot of music was something that I wanted to be like very close to, right? So
Mhm,
did it for 2 years, became profitable, exited the company. Luckily, I met Deepak. Deepak was founder of Slintel. So post my own startup, I was very much uh, into that. I want to do something in technology now.
mhm,
Want to build something big, be a part of a journey where I can learn more and more. So I applied to a lot of product management jobs. Luckily, slowly and gradually went into Slintel. So was the first PM at Slintel,
mhm,
founding member, built the product from 0 to 5 million, and then we got acquired eventually by Six Sense. Again, met great folks at Six Sense and built the product there, and then started journey at Revrag, right? I'm building Revrag with my childhood friends, Pankaj and Neeraj. Uh, Again, lucky to have them with me, and uh, yeah, I think this has been a journey, and uh, now we're building AI agents at RevRagAI.
Got it. Uh, Tell us about Revrag. What kind of a company it is? What kind of platform? Who is it intended for? What purpose does it solve, or what problem is it solving? Start with the problem statement. What is the problem that you're going after?
Right. I think what we saw initially was that we saw that there are three steps in a sales funnel, right? There
Mm-hmm.
is tofu. Tofu is top of the funnel, then mid of the funnel, and then bottom of the funnel, right? So when we started our journey, we were working on top of the funnel, that how we can generate more and more leads, how we can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, gradually, we understood, okay, adding leads, doing a lot of cold reach out, a lot of convincing can not be done by AI, right? But mid mid of the funnel, which is like lead qualification, onboarding, activation, that can be done by AI. So that was the learning that we had, right? And at the same time, while we were also building uh, in multiple startups, we understood that uh, there is high drop off that happens during the onboarding journeys,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and we were coming from a BFSI background, so we thought like why not to focus on BFSI background. We three of us together had a founder market fit of sort, that I am from sales, revenue background in SaaS, and then Neeraj is from fintech background, and Pankaj is from AI background. So why not club it together and basically build something in that segment, right? So we saw that okay, there is a lot of dollars are uh, being basically companies are losing a lot of dollars during the onboarding drop-offs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was majorly reactive. So, example would be, let's say you are applying for a loan and you had a lot of questions,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody is there to answer your question. So you eventually basically drop off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during that onboarding journey, there is a lot of complexity as well, because financial products are not easy to understand. Financial products onboarding is also very complex. You have to upload KYC, you have to upload documents, you have to upload multiple things, right? There is math typical that you need to understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and whenever there is a drop, every BFSI company was approaching it as a reactive approach, right? Majorly reactive, meaning that they they anticipated, okay, there is going to be a drop off, and now we will use humans to call those customers, bring them back to our app, right? There
Mm-hmm.
was a recovery of CAC that is happening. CAC is customer acquisition cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, is there a way that we can go, look, see, we will solve for the reactive portion, but is there a way we can solve it for proactive as well,
Mm-hmm.
so that we don't let our customers even drop, right? We don't let those users drop. So we then started working on embedded AI agents on top of the apps, right? And that's when we realized that today's app will become tomorrow's agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we started working on those area, and yeah, our core thesis is that there will be in future there will be the right balance of gener like generative UI and conversational AI, right, together, combining and giving an an agent experience of sort, right? So a very good agent experience. And today's app will become tomorrow's agent. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we are doing. So we embed AI, we embed our AI agents on top of these BFSI to reduce drop-offs and do other stuff as well. And we have AI calling agents which can bring the customers back on the platforms. And we have other agents as well, workflow agents to analyze, to transform data. We have agent orchestration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are some things that we do at Revrag AI.
Is it like a self-serve platform which the banking users can do by themselves, or do you sort of automate things on their behalf, probably integrate few systems, and how does it work?
So one crucial thing that we realized was in order to get sustainable billing from our end, right? If we want someone to pay us every month or every year,
Mm-hmm.
we need to solve the problem, right? And AI is new for everyone,
Mm,
right? And if we give a platform to someone who doesn't know AI, right? And we are best at AI. So it doesn't make sense to basically give a platform which can't be utilized to the top, right? And is not able to show ROI. So what
mm-hmm,
we believe is that we basically tend to work very closely with our customers, and that's why we chose to go to enterprise customers first. We might be a product-led growth. We might do PLG later, but as of now, we are not a self-serve platform. We are a enterprise sales-led company where we work with enterprise companies, large enterprises, large BFSI, banks, fintechs, insurtechs, to basically help them figure out how they can deploy these agents on their app and on their engagement layer.
mm. Got it. Speaking of AI agents, I was reading this somewhere. I think their agents are not foolproof. They do errors. They hallucinate, and a lot of problems are there. At least right now, maybe in future they'll become foolproof. And that's why banks and fintechs, banks primarily have been very cautious about implementing AI agents. What if they quote a wrong interest rate? What if they suggest a wrong product to the customer? So uh, in banking, even 1% error rate can be disastrous, right? So
Right.
how are you navigating through those apprehensions from banks? And the banks are typically the traditional businesses. They wait for others to adopt. Maybe let's say there are top 10 banks in India. They're waiting for at least one bank to adopt AI completely, and then they'll probably move in that direction. So how are you navigating those challenges?
I think very good question, Priya, there. As we know, banks are very compliance heavy, very security heavy, right? And it is because it's money involved, right? It is very important because people like us are trusting these institutions to put our money and will be safe, right? We are sleeping safely, right? So it's a very important piece to basically understand the criticality of it, right? So what we understand is that every AI agent that we deploy, right, should handle all those such scenarios, right?
Mm,
And it's a very controlled deployment that we do. And we are very compliant driven company, right? We have all the compliances in place, data security, deployments, because any bank that you go and pitch your product to will ask you all of these questions because there are CISO audits, there are security audits, data audit, deployment audits, a lot more audits that will be happening, right? And these
right.
are regulated entities, right? Uh, so about your question one, which is basically uh, how are the agents being controlled with like less number of hallucinations?
Mm-hmm,
So what we do is we have put together a system where we basically fine tune these agents and even divide these agents into atomic agents so that they don't hallucinate and there is less number of error that is
mm,
happening, right? And second is that we combine them together to build a uniform layer of agents so that it gives customer is thinking that it is one agent, but there are multiple agents in like working together to give that experience, right?
mm-hmm,
Third is that there are like evals that are put together, there are LLM ops that are put together, there are compliances, responsible AI governance, a lot more things are coming in, and we are trying to be present there as well, right? About the second question, that are there banks and bigger banks watching and seeing others to adopt first and then they will adopt? I don't think so. Every board today is having a discussion about AI strategy, right?
mm-hmm,
Everybody is pushing for AI strategy. So, uh, not even so even SBI is doing a lot of POCs with startups. Every bank is reaching out to their big fours, right? If they work with them, right?
mm-hmm,
Every fintech is already trying to build things on AI, right? Everybody is engaged, right, and trying to adopt AI.
Mhm.
This year, there will be a lot of experimentation will be there, but from next year, we will start seeing big deployments happening with big banks, with big fintechs, and it will be coming to people like us, right? We will start interacting with these AI agents on a mass basis or on a large basis also.
Mhm. Got it. And I think every agentic AI framework today is based on top of some base LLMs like OpenAI's ChatGPT or Llama or DeepSeek. Can you explain what all underlying technologies that you have been using at RevRag, and how do they sort of come together?
Absolutely. So I think see, what we believe is that every LLM is starting to do and finding their own niches as they are like growing more and more. So like Claude is very good in coding,
Hmm.
ChatGPT, X model, Y model, or Z model does this based, right? So we as technology provider or AI provider need to figure out which LLM is working for which use case and which
Mm-hmm.
LLM is not working for which use case, right? So we have LLM ops for that, right? So we have invested a lot of time. We have even uh, we have been working with a team and now very closely, right? So we have LLM ops at place where we understand, okay, uh, certain LLM is working for this use case, certain LLM is working for this use case, and if we combine them together, this is the outcome that we are able to get, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we use extensively all the LLMs, but some are good in certain use cases, some are not good in certain use cases.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And when you sort of use these LLMs, these are owned by companies not which are not from India, and you tend to pass on data to them to for processing. And what happens by that is sometimes the data security gets compromised. In fact, data sovereignty gets compromised when the data is sent outside India. So how do you take care of those aspects? I think banks in particular are very cautious, very apprehensive about this fact that how is the data being used, how is the data processed, and that's why some of the banks prefer on premise deployment of any software, because they don't want to lose the control of the data. What if you leak the data, and which happened by the way with some banks recently, the data got leaked. How are you sort of taking guardrails and taking measures to safeguard the data?
Absolutely. So there are two types of LLMs now. There are closed source LLMs and open source LLMs, right? So we try to use both and derive knowledge from there, right? Where how we can do that. And every LLM now has started offering India as a server, right? So in fintech, basically the first requirement is every data should not leave the country, right? That's the first and foremost requirement. So that's how we basically try to balance the act, because we know that okay, there are closed source LLMs, open source LLMs, which is working good, which is not working good, should be in India, and that's how we figure out ways to basically deploy it. Because see, the need is to basically deploy these agent and make them perform at large volumes, at production level volumes, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, we as a team has a duty to basically perform that. Okay, it should be compliant, it should be working fine with the terms and conditions that an RE has, a regulated entity has, right? So that's how we basically tend to collaborate and we learn from these regulated entities, right? Every
Mhm.
day is a new learning with them, because see, while we are implementing a lot of AI agents, this is new for everyone. It is new for us. It is new for a regulated entity or an institution as well, right? So yeah, we come together. We have been co-building certain products with a lot of regulated entities. So yeah, it's and everybody is actually understanding, yes, few things they can build, few things they can't build, and for that probably we are. the startup that they might need to work with. And there are other options as well in the market. But yeah, there are only few as of now.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And any sort of challenges that you have been witnessing while building and growing this particular venture?
I think challenges are there are a lot of daily challenges, but overall, I think a few things to highlight there is that I think knowledge of what AI can do, what can't do, is a very important piece that we tend to hear from the market, right? We have to make them aware that okay, this is something that AI can't do, and there is something that AI can do, right? Which actually is very important for any person to basically understand the capability of AI, right? You can't ask AI to basically start convincing an human, which today an AI can't do, right? Which is a common ask we get. Can you
Mm-hmm.
convince this customer to buy this? Which AI cannot do, right? We have to be cognizant about what AI can do and cannot do, right? Right? This is one common challenge that we face. Data security is another challenge that we face. I think hiring is one of the common challenge because see, it is a new type of skill now that we need, right? And there are not many people who have like acquired that kind of a skill, and so hiring is becoming a challenge where we want to go. People also, pe so we get a lot of applications when we are hiring,
Mm-hmm.
but not everybody is super skilled that the way that we actually seeing, right? So I think
Right.
there is a gap there, definitely. Other than that, I think India has been a challenge. I think pricing is a challenge, and people ghosting you after a call, after a demo, after a POC is a challenge. But there's a common challenge that has been there in Indian market, so I have to navigate through Indian
Right.
market, I think. So yeah, that's a common challenge.
How do you see the regulatory landscape for AI and finance evolving in India? Because I think our although we have been doing great in terms of fintech, UPI, and everything, all the latest innovations that has happened, but India is somehow lagging in AI in terms of uh, building base models, base LLMs in India. India is also lagging in terms of building regulations for new technology. Like even today, there is no solid regulation for crypto. Crypto is a old technology now, and similar thing is happening with AI. How do you foresee the Indian regulatory landscape evolving, and how are you preparing for it?
No, I think there are multiple questions hidden into your one question.
Right.
So I will answer one by one. First, I'll take the question of about the regulations of Indian about AI. Right? I think government is already working on that, and we as startup is also a part of these committees. Now we work with IAMAI and other type of regulatory companies. Member companies that basically guide government on a certain governance, right? Policy making. So
Mm-hmm.
there is already a lot of things happening. Government is working, but it takes it. So you can't make an elephant dance, right? So you have to basically be very careful, and it's not easy to make an elephant dance, right? You can make it dance, but you have to like be very cautious about it, right? So things are progressing. Good part is that, but it is taking its due time, right? Second portion is that. How do I foresee why India is not able to build a good base models, foundational models? I think India, as a uh, overall, if you see, has been the back office for a lot of companies from the past, right? So we are good with the workflows overall, right? Not that deep of an innovation that we have done. We have done in some areas as well. I'm not questioning or denying it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, if you see large numbers that we have solved is kind of is the back office thing that we have been doing from a very long time in IT services, right? IT services and BPOs, KPOs, so on and so forth, right? So that is that is something that I think is a strength of Indians and India. So what I believe is India is going to be the biggest uh, uh, like is going to make more value and biggest in terms of application layer startups, right?
Mhm.
There will be a lot of good startups, B2B startups coming in from India, which will be building a lot of application layer, which are complex workflows to be solved by AI. I think that is where one picture that I see. And even I think in long term, what I envision and I just cross my finger that India should be able to do is a lot of robotic workflows as well, right? I
Mhm.
think I just believe and I hope that we go about doing it, right? So I think there is something that is coming, and AI agents being the being in forefront of that, right? So I think India will be in due time actually leading that space.
Got it. And one of the latest innovation in AI has been the voice AI. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I read it somewhere you've been working with voice AI. Can you tell us about what has been your experience around that? Because uh, earlier, in my experience, voice AI was not working because there was a lot of latency. There was a people would recognize that it's not a human who is talking at the other end, and they'll probably disconnect the call. They don't like to interact with them. But these days, it's on the rise. The AI has become smarter, low latency, and voice has become very realistic. What has been your exposure to that?
No, I think you're right on point that 6 or I think 8, 9 months before today, voice was not that great, right? There was a lot of latency. There were not good models. Uh, there was so we have taken a huge jump from where we were from where we are today, right? And voice is one of the greatest unlocks of AI. I think so, right? Because it gives a feel of human, which because see we conversate, right? So conversation is very core part of human, right?
Mhm.
That we are able to conversate and we are able to share our thoughts. I think that is very core to us. So as and it is more human like. So I think voice is one of the greatest unlocks of AI, and now we like at Revrag, we have voice models. Not we haven't like built our own voice model. We
Mhm.
have calling agents which basically can help any business basically call their customer,
Mhm.
get a note of it, and solve multiple use cases related to customer support, sales, onboarding being our favorite use case, right? And yeah, multiple others, right? And we even our embedded AI agents also have, are voice enabled, right? So we believe, I I like personally believe that soon voice will become the piece that we conversate with every other machine that we have, right?
Mhm.
You will start seeing apps changing in that manner. We'll start seeing desktops changing in that manner. So yeah, there is a lot of change that is coming just because of this unlock.
Mhm.
And I'm a firm believer there that okay, this is soon starting, and we are in the forefront of it, and trying to basically implement that and help businesses to basically lead that movement there.
Got it. All right. So finally, I wish to know what is your vision towards the future, because you have built great products, you have onboarded clients, you have success stories now. How do you foresee the future of RevRag? Do you want to continue in BFSI and expand on that, or do you want to grow to other industry? Do you want to grow geographically? What's the plan for the future?
Uh, Plan for the future always changes, but I'll give what we currently think, right? So,
Sure.
for sure, I think BFSI is a very close to our hearts because we have been working with BFSI and it has given us recognition, and it has given us even a good problem to solve, right? So I think BFSI will still be there, and we will expand into other industries for sure, and geographies as well, right? So most probably we'll be expanding to US, we'll be expanding to other global markets. But that will come with due time because we are a very small team today, and we would like to be that way. But as we grow, we would like to basically uh, take one step at a time and basically basically cover one market at a time.
Mhm.
Because what I understand is that India is also a very big market overall and can have a very large business around that
Mhm.
piece. But the vision is big. We know that uh, consumer apps will become agentic and will be uh, so I every day I tell this to my team as well that today's app will become tomorrow's agent, right?
Mhm.
So, and we are very much focused on consumer apps because that is where we will be able to reach to masses, and we would love to reach to masses through by helping our clients to basically uh, make an impact there. Yeah,
Understood. All right. So thanks for joining the session, Ashutosh. It was a pleasure to have you on our platform.
absolutely.
And I think kudos to you for developing AI products in India. I think India has a long road to go, long way to go in the AI race. We are already, there are other players which are ahead of us, like US, like China. We have to beat that. And I think companies like yours are making an impact. And thanks to you for that.
No, no, absolutely my pleasure. Would love to be in forefront of it and make a huge impact on like globally, not just India, right? But India as of now is our primary market. But yeah, so the vision is that we do a larger impact and we win this race.
All right. Thanks again, Ashutosh, for joining and have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lovely session. Thanks. Kudos for building this ELI community and inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you.